What's up, fellow pandas? Jack here. It has been a long time since I said that. Today, as you can see, I am on the AwesomeMan playlist. Because, as of last night, or last night when I recorded this, I released the last episode that takes place in Season 1 of AwesomeMan. So I figured, why not try something a little different? A director's commentary of Season 1. There's a lot of stories from this show, and it's a fun show, so why not? It gives me an excuse to watch it. So we're starting with the test pilot. Donuts. Not the donuts, just donuts. So, fun fact, this was the first animation I ever made. And it was actually made in under an hour. So let's watch it.
After a long day of fighting crime, it'll be nice to have some victory.
Oh god,
Wait,
this animation.
where are my victory
So,
donuts?
I didn't know how to copy
Have you seen
frames
my
back
special
then,
victory donuts?
nor did I know how to use layers.
Sorry, Jason.
So everything is drawn on one layer
Because it's time
over and over again.
Dangerous mission yet.
Oh
Getting
god.
donuts.
I remember editing this on Pinnacle
Awesome.
2006, I think. It was an old version of Pinnacle. My dad got it at Future Shop when that was a thing for $20.
How does it work?
Oh boy.
I'll just beat the crap out of it and pray for the best.
Oh, it was, for those wondering where it was animated, I had a day off school. It's a very interesting story how this whole thing was animated. But
Hello, how may I help you?
I'll save that for another video because it's very long.
Jellyfish.
It's yeah. That's the first episode. Very short, but it was animated in an afternoon. I didn't know what I was doing back then. Honestly, it's oh man, that's fun. Oh, and then this song here. So Reed improv this song in a later episode. We had them all pre-recorded, so we made this the temporary theme song while Alex, Ben, and Reed worked on a new theme song. They did this willingly as a gift. Oh, and we're on the first official episode. Look at that, I learned how to do backgrounds. But I still didn't know how to copy frames, so I had to place the backgrounds individually. Until there's a point in here where I figured it out. I'm like, I can copy frames?
What do you know? 'Cause he'll know.
Oh yeah, I was saying where I animated this, right? At the time, I animated most of the season back then on an iPad mini on an app called Animation Creator. And sometimes I'll still use that app when I'm doing original character designs, but I won't use it, or when I'm traveling even, but I don't use it much at all anymore. The iPad mini is 9 years old now. It's, even back then it was old and breaking down.
My brother.
No, it really doesn't.
This
Ugh.
is my brother.
I remember,
Maybe.
oh
I can
man.
talk to him.
So,
Make him join us.
these are actually based off
What do you say?
comics I wrote when I was younger. I used to write and sell comics around my hometown.
I'm in.
And
What?
this
Brother's gonna
episode
betray me?
was
Like
actually
that?
the pilot
Rubberman
for the
gotta go.
comics.
Peace.
And Donuts was supposed to be the next one originally, but I swapped them because I thought Donuts was a better introduction to the character of AwesomeMan. Kind of a random point, eh? Kind of a random episode to start on, but yeah, it was pretty fun.
So the other day,
Okay, so now we're on the most recent episode of AwesomeMan, apparently, because this is the most recent one I made. But it takes place in between episodes 1 and 2. You see, I did these Lost File episodes because, looking back, I wasn't happy with Season 1. I wrote it in high school, Season 1, right? So, of course, I'm not happy with it in 4th year university.
Good for you. You know,
So,
family really is.
I ended up deciding to go back and add new episodes to Season 1 to fix the pacing, because that was my biggest problem with it, was the pacing of the story. So, personally, this has become one of my favorite episodes of AwesomeMan. I know I literally just released it last night, so, as of recording this, so, of course I love it.
Fine, I'll do
But,
just that. But if you do
God,
anything
I'm just
that
so
makes me
happy
think
with
you have a
this.
chance of working
So
Maybe
I
I'll order
think this
some
might be
pizza.
the only
Or
episode where
pizza.
every
Oh,
voice
sorry.
actor
How
recorded
many
their
drinks
lines
do
in
you
a different
want?
location.
No, I'm kind of sick of water.
Because Amanda, since we started the series, I'm going to pause this for a second and explain this. So since we started the series, Amanda, the voice actress for Speedstar, she's moved. She's in a different city. I've moved from my hometown to a different city, but I go back to my hometown once in a while. And so when I went back last time, I recorded with Reed and I did a recording with Tori. But they weren't available on the same day at all, so they recorded separate days. And I was sick that day, so I had to wait a little while till I got better to record Professor Villain.
No, because I know
And then
licenses to evil robots.
Matthew,
That's racist.
he's a very
Plus,
busy
I
guy.
am
He's
happy.
got a lot going on in
I
his
couldn't
life.
agree more.
Amazing friend.
The racism
Known him
thing
forever.
or the human thing?
So he had one Drobot line,
Well,
and
thanks for the input.
we had to
I have
record
no
him
issue.
on a separate
You're not
day
going
too,
anywhere
because he
from
was
that
also
guy,
busy.
Can we please call him something else? Fine.
So-
I'll say Rob for short.
This is the one
Anyways,
episode
where was I
where
in my
none of the
monologue?
voice actors were
No
in the
one
same
cares
room
about your
bouncing off each
monologues,
other
Villain.
directly.
Just send out your
Because
new
usually that's how I
robot.
do things,
How
is
dare you insult my evil
I'll have all the
robot?
voice actors in the same room, and we'll
That's
all just like
20.5.
bounce off each other. We'll all go one take, bouncing off each other. One person screws up, we all screw up.
That's it?
Oh man,
You tried
Mousetron.
building an
So,
evil
funny
robot
story of
and it didn't.
Mousetron. Mousetron, I wanted it to look like garbage. I wanted it to look so bad, but the design, ended up kind of liking it. And I'm like, oh no, this is good, I gotta start over. It needs to be bad. And then Gina looks at it and she goes, no, it's beautiful. So what we ended up doing, at Gina's recommendation actually, was I ended up making him look super intimidating. As you can see, if I go back a bit, right? As you can see, I did this introduction and then revealed how tiny and pathetic he was.
That's it?
You tried building
And
an evil
honestly,
robot
I
and it
think
didn't.
this was the
That's
best way to
revenge
introduce
on the
Mousetron,
traitor who hurt your
looking back.
Yeah, we don't have time for
Oh
this.
my
Let's
God.
go, Rob.
No.
I love this
knew you were
shot.
evil.
That's not
I'm
what I
so
mean.
happy with this
This
shot
thing
here.
was made by Professor
This
Villain.
cinematography.
It must be
Oh
somewhat
my
dangerous.
God. You can really tell the difference between my early stuff and now. Like, you can tell now I've actually gone to school for film and writing, so the writing makes sense and like the cinematography isn't bad. I really do need to work on my art skills still. I'm trying. I've been taking art classes this year actually,
You know, Rob,
and
maybe you will get your hero license.
so
Is this your way
I
of
really
saying
am
you
working
don't
on
want
that. You
to
could
tell
tell I
anyone
have
who
better
violated your
anatomy
code?
now. Like
Maybe.
arms don't stop
worry.
after
You can
like
trust me.
halfway through the stomach. They actually go where they're supposed to go.
Straighter than anyone else.
Oh man.
AwesomeMan.
And so here's the actual revised theme of AwesomeMan. It was playing here. I'll turn it up a bit.
Run away. AwesomeMan. AwesomeMan.
So this theme was, so like I said earlier, this theme was originally improv by Reed, the voice actor for RoboMan, and it was a joke, and Alex and Ben ended up doing. Ben isn't voice acted. He has only ever, I'm gonna pause this again. He's only ever worked on music with me. Oh yeah, and Alex, he has voice acted. He plays Awesome Dog, and a character who's coming in season 2, who I can't reveal yet. He also plays a few characters in Wii who haven't been revealed yet. So they made it for me as a gift, actually. It was a very nice thing for them to do. I didn't even know they were doing this. I was just gonna use the improv song because it was funny. But they ended up for 2 weeks working on that recording of the AwesomeMan theme back in high school, and it means so much to me. It honestly does. It was just so nice of them. I honestly have the best friends. They're so supportive. They're such wonderful people. Okay, so I guess we're on to this episode, The Pig, which, elephant in the room, this got played at a charity event 2 years ago called Not for Profit, which I got asked to make a video for. They said just put a bunch of videos, anything that involves animals in it, and I had like a quote. If you watch that video back, you'll probably be annoyed by all the ads and sponsors. It was in the rules. I had to put them in like in between every segment, basically. So if you watch that video, just skip over the sponsors. They're not giving me money, but they did donate to charity. So if you want to watch them, you have the advertisements. You know what? Do it, because they're good people. They donated a lot to the animals, and you know, it was a fun event. That was a really fun event, honestly. And this is a fun episode. As you can tell, I learned stuff like how to copy frames and how to use layers. Like, this was a big improvement at the time, this episode. Now, I still have what I like to call flappy lips as a problem, where I just kind of flap the lips every 4 frames. Like, that's how it sounded if you don't. Oh, yeah. So, this is before the current theme song was ready. I thought it'd be a funny joke to subvert everyone's expectations of the other song by making Professor Villain sing his own rendition. Oh my god. I freaking love this rendition. Okay, now we're on to the next Lost File. Oh my gosh. So, fun fact about this episode of AwesomeMan. This is the only episode where there's only one voice actor. I wanted to challenge myself with this one and see if I could do an episode that was just me. Every character in this episode that has a voice that speaks is voiced by me. As you could tell, I was Lars Johnson. And Professor Villain. And AwesomeMan, of course. Okay, I love this little Easter egg. So, people don't notice, I slip dirty jokes in AwesomeMan all the time. Like, I hide them in the background. They're just kind of everywhere. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the show. If you look at Woodtron 5000's description, every time I do this joke, there's a description. The description's usually a pun of some sort. With the exception of Mousetron, where the whole joke was there was no time to make a pun. So, I think you all can read that pun. You'll all get it. I have the maturity of a 12-year-old, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, man. So, I think you can tell by that last shot, I was just learning perspective in my art class. Or, was this for art class? I don't know. I was just trying to practice perspective more. And I think it worked decently. I could improve it. But it worked pretty well. But yeah, personally, if I was re-editing this scene, I probably would have added more of the over-the-shoulder effects. But I do love this. I love this reality show editing here. I kind of wish I stuck to that style this whole episode. But the script just didn't call for it. Like, I kind of added that very last minute. Came up with that angle to do the whole thing like that. Like, sometimes I just do dumb shit like that. I love how at this point in the series, if you were binging by the playlist canon order, you don't know who the vegetable is either. Awesome. It's just like, wait, Awesome Dog has a caretaker? Holy crap, man. What? Who is this vegetable? Who is he? Who is this mysterious man? And people who watch the series know who the vegetable is. He's kind of just a meme character. Oh boy. And then we have this scene with Water Girl's room, of course, here. Oh boy. I should stop going on tangents with stories and actually commentate on the episode, but I don't know. When I do other ones of these, when other seasons are inevitably finished, do you guys want more tangents with production stories, or do you want more of me just talking about things that are happening? Oh man. So, okay, so there's a callback in Romance Lab here, right? You'll notice that, on the side, there's, like, those little arms that extend there. And that's the same platform that Professor Villain uses in his lab to build robots. So, this obviously would have been the thing to build RoboGuy. I mean, RoboMan and RoboGuy, I guess. RoboGuy is the 2.0 version of RoboMan. So, I really am happy with the decision that I made to, like, recolor Professor Villain's lab tech. It was weird drawing it, because at this point, Professor Villain's lab was a background I made so long ago. At this point, it had been 4 years since I last drew this thing. Outside that one time in Season 2 when I actually utilized it, so I should probably utilize it more, honestly. I'd like to in future episodes. But yeah, but at the time, it was like, this is the first time in 3 years I've drawn this. Can I still do it? And it took me so long to remember what the hell I did to draw this damn thing. But it's there to kind of imply, like, yo, RoboMan, he'll probably need repairs at some point. This is how he'd repair himself. This is how he'd fix himself. So this episode kind of started an arc I wrote in the Lost Files that hasn't been concluded yet, because the last episode of it, or the epilogue of it's in Season 2, and it kind of gets continued for the rest of Season 2. So when Speedstar quits in a later episode in here, right? It's still in this season though, right? It was so abrupt originally. And it was like, why? And it was because I actually cut a couple episodes because I thought they were mean-spirited originally. But it ruined the pacing. And this is actually the reason I made the Lost Files, was because of those cuts and that pacing problem. So these were kind of made to fix that, and honestly, I think the Lost Files make Season 1 better than it's ever been. Like, I'm legitimately happy with this season now. Like, I acknowledge my mistakes, I acknowledge the stuff I learned from, but, like, again, I learned from it. I don't cringe at the sight of my old work. Never cringe at your old work. Just look at it and be proud. You made something. You made something. I made this. I called him the buzz of the town. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I made this. Even with the problems and stuff, like, I learned from them. And that's why I don't cringe when I watch my old cartoons. That's why I'll watch them over again, because I like seeing how far I've come, and I like working on going farther. Because I believe it's honestly important to always try to improve yourself. I think this episode shows a lot. Honestly, these Lost Files, they show a lot. Like, I'm purposely stylizing these to look like Season 1. I am purposely holding myself back in these episodes. And they look better than Season 1 ever did still. And I'm so proud of that. And I'm still so proud of the original Season 1 episodes, because they're what started me. They're what made me fall in love with animation. Or animating, at least. I've always been in love with watching animation. I'm sorry, I talked through this whole episode about, like, passion and stuff, and, like, I see so many people talk about how cringy their old work is, and it's like, no, don't think of it as cringy. It was your stepping stones. It was how you're learning, you know? One day, you're gonna look back on even your current work and say it's cringy, but don't. Because if it wasn't for your past, you wouldn't be where you are in the present. I'm sorry, that was a very long tangent. But it's something that bothers me. Like this episode here, this was the first time I tried to do a more serious episode of AwesomeMan. Of anything. I was always a comedy writer, but AwesomeMan, I wanted it to have an overarching story, as I prefer. I make shows that I want to see, that I like. So the overarching story of AwesomeMan, it's gonna get very good. It has a nice message to it. By the time it's all wrapped up, you'll see. You won't see it in this season, because this season was, again, just laying groundwork and me figuring out what I was doing. But this episode is crucial. So, when I see that line there, the line AwesomeMan says there, most superheroes have their backstories, but I don't know mine. I just woke up one day next to her. So, fun fact, that was the first line I ever thought of for this show. Because I wanted AwesomeMan to not know his backstory. It's a crucial part of his character arc. And you'll see that this background, this story, links to everyone else's origin story. And this is such a crucial episode to the series right here. You'll look at it and you'll go, wow, this is the episode where kind of the overarching story starts. This is where AwesomeMan's origin starts. Or what he learns starts from here. So let's continue the episode. I should have put a sound effect there, and I know that.
Who are you? I'm not sure who I am.
So,
You know who you are?
fun fact, the reason Speedstar's accent is canonically fake Sorry to out you like this,
Well,
Amanda, but
I jump
she
Park
did.
Street, so how about
Back then,
Park?
she didn't know how to do the kid
Danica
voice
Parks. It was
and the
normal
English
for men
accent
that
at the same
Danica
time.
I discovered our powers.
So we decided, you know what? It's canonly
Now
fake.
you listen up here, see?
Oh man,
Kids
Keenan.
better pay up with
Oh, I'd
those
love to
there,
have Keenan
or
back on the
else.
show. Keenan, if you're watching this, come back. I'd love to have you back on Awesome Man. I really would. Oh, it was so fun. I was like last minute looking for someone to play the criminals, and he's like, "Can I do it?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah, buddy." He was a good friend of mine in high school. We were pretty close. So like, I was really excited to have him in the show. And, oh man, little Jason.
Powers to help people.
You guys ready for this? For this Easter egg? I always have to feel the need to point out this Easter egg right here because that is a page from the original comic pilot that I made from it. And that in the corner is the original design for RoboMan. Because originally he was going to be a one-off joke. He was going to be like the cliche duplicate. And Speedstar was going to straight up just kill him. And that would be it.
Get real, Jason. The world is a cruel
Oh
place.
man, I didn't even know what
Never
spear
be
frames
nice.
were.
But
Okay, that
if
part
you
makes me
run
cringe.
around
I'll
like
give it that.
AwesomeMan,
Going back on my word a bit. Here, I cringe at the fact that I didn't know how to lip sync and I didn't know how to use smear frames.
Few years, I went around stalking crime.
Every movement's one frame.
Before she left.
Oh no. Can I even call this animation?
Boss told me to take care of
Hey, yes, I kinda can.
So where's your money? Not if I
Can help it. Whoosh. Oh man, it's like the first real action setting.
Maybe
Ish.
beat us, but
The first real fight scene comes in the season 1 finale, like the first one I
she's the
made.
toughest, baddest
Like, as you can tell, there's been
around,
plenty of
and
action
she's
scenes
sure
already
to
in the
kick
season thanks to
your
the Lost Files. Because I love making action sequences.
whatever you name it.
Oh my god.
So you're-
Wait, I gotta go back. I'm sorry. I still love this introduction for Speedstar. I wish I framed it better.
So
but
you're the one's been messing
I
around
still love that
with it?
introduction
AwesomeMan
for
wasn't
Mafia
it?
Speedstar.
How do you know
Oh
that
my
then?
god. I'm still just so happy with that reveal.
Your best friend.
Doo-doo. So Gina made 2 songs for this episode. I feel like I don't mention it enough.
Go.
We use an only original soundtrack
So I
here.
have my life.
And my sister Gina, she is a popular music master's student, or she won't be for as long, she's graduating. But
Thick face,
she
I quit.
she composed most of the soundtrack, and
I didn't know Danica.
she composed 2 songs for this episode called Heroes of the Rain and Heroes of the Night. And I still use them so much. They're really great songs. Honestly, I would love to somehow release Gina's soundtrack on its own, because she did such a good job with all our soundtracks. Like, you hear her work in Parody Club, you hear her work in Magical Adventure. Like, she rocks it every time. And I think a lot of the quality of these videos comes from the fact that we have an original soundtrack, because it just automatically boosts the quality.
The superhero
Oh.
inclusion
Oh
project
my god, it's the
for
first
ship
Lost File.
has just issued a court order against.
So this is the first Lost File I made. Back then I had the idea, hey, what if I animated it on the iPad like I used to again? I ended up dropping that idea because the iPad just, it stopped working more and more every day. It was turning out to be a bigger pain than it was worth. And I'm happy with that decision. I really am. Because it was pretty limiting. The iPad program only allowed me 5 layers. Now it allows up to 10, but like, back then it only allowed 5.
Before we start
And
today,
like,
I would like to take you
oh my god, if you know how I animate, I make like a base model and like every limb I animate now is like on a different layer, so I can like move them around as I please, and it's still all hand drawn. Like, I don't know how to use something like Flash, I don't do CGI. I do hand-drawn animation, and sometimes when I need a more 3-dimensional shot, I'll do it in stop motion first, and then I'll draw over the stop motion. The important thing with this episode is it establishes the scale of AwesomeMan's power, which I felt was something that I failed to do. And it also was the first time I mentioned SHIP, the Superhero Inclusion Project. This is always written in the background, but I never really mentioned it in season 1, and I should have. So, canonly with AwesomeMan,
No, it's...
there is no law enforcement aside from superheroes. Because there's so many of them, they just didn't need police anymore. So the government created the Superhero Inclusion Program to make them government employees. That's why you see stuff like Speedstar asking for a stapler, because they do have to fill out stuff like paperwork. There's a lot of lore to the AwesomeMan world.
I'm going to test this real quick.
And honestly, we're going to expand on it a lot in seasons 3 and 4, the last 2 seasons of the show. Like, you're going to learn the ins and outs of the AwesomeMan world. So, right here, pay attention to AwesomeMan's eyes. Pay attention to every protagonist's eyes in my shows. Pay attention to them. I'm just going to say that now. I've said it many times before, all my shows are connected. They are all connected. And the eyes of the protagonists are very crucial. AwesomeMan's golden eyes here are a huge foreshadowing of events later to come.
I think I found him.
As are Sheehan's phone call. As is Sheehan's phone call there. But we know who Sheehan's calling, because she shows up in the first episode of season... Not Sheehan, but the person she's calling shows up in the first episode of season 2, and his name dropped in it. But I felt like I should build it up for people who are new to the channel and want to, like, binge. Like, this is a show that is written to be binged. Like, you are not getting the true AwesomeMan experience unless you were, like, binge-watching AwesomeMan. But still, watch them as I release them, too. Because, oh, man, I need the views. I need the views, damn it. Oh, boy! Oh, boy! Okay, now I'm gonna cringe. This is the episode I learned the most from. Because it is the worst cartoon I have ever made. So, backstory. It was high school exam season at the time. And so I didn't have much time to work on a new episode. I was trying to get them out every week at the time. I didn't delay them like I do now when I feel the need to delay them, right? So, I didn't have time to work on an episode. And I needed it done for Sunday. And we were traveling to Toronto to see my family. So, in that 3-hour car drive, I animated like I never animated before. I animated this whole episode in that day. Then edited it on the iPad. It's the only episode edited on the iPad.
This is great. I get a whole 2 weeks
It's...
without that jerk by my side.
My storage is getting full. I gotta move some stuff to my USBs and my hard drives. But...
I must help him pack immediately.
But we gotta keep going. So... Oh my god, that is such... No. You could tell the rush. You could tell stuff like I didn't understand how to make a transparent background properly to make that window look good. Professor Villain, his eyes, what the hell? They're so derp. What is going on here? Drillbot is way too big. He should not be this scale. Drillbot should be the size of Professor Villain's head. And this is not how airports look. Oh my god. Oh my god. This episode gets worse. I promise. This one, I want to remake this episode. I'm strongly debating remaking this episode. Because it's such an important episode to the canon. It is crucial to the overarching story. But it looks like garbage. It is... Oh my god, no. So, while we were traveling, we stayed in a hotel. And there's Gina right there. Our soundtrack composer and my sister. She played Madame Lowe. Madame Lowe was originally supposed to be played by someone else. But she backed out last minute. So, I ended up getting Gina to play Zlo. And Gina, honestly, I'm really happy with that decision. Because Gina is an excellent Zlo. But not in this episode. Not in her introduction. Gina becomes an excellent Zlo. So what happened was we were in a hotel that night. And we had like 20 minutes to record the Zlo lines and edit them into the episode. So I didn't know how Zlo would be acted. So her facial animations don't match how Gina voiced them. and I didn't know how to really direct back then. So it just turns out really bad. Just really, really bad. That anatomy is awful. But, yeah, no. So we recorded this in like 15 minutes in a hotel. You hear that? The audio quality's not as good as low as it is with everyone else. It's not very good with everyone else either. Because back then we recorded... So, back then what we did was we all had the same third period spare. And I was part of the writers club in high school. So I was very close to the librarian, so she let me use the conference room whenever I wanted to record these in the library conference room. Eventually, though, the conference room had to be shut down for renovations, so we ended up switching. I was volunteering a lot in the school's recording studio, so I got to move to there. My music teacher let me record in there on my spares, and because he just happened to be off during that time too. So he was all cool with it, and I took his music recording class. So technically I know how to record and edit music. I'm just terrible at it. And I feel like that sums up my whole career in general, is like, I have the knowledge of how to do better, but I need to get better at putting that knowledge into practice. That will always be my biggest critique of myself. Like, I have the knowledge. Also, Easter egg alert. I have attempted to create the Deus Ex Machina. Censored. He is ... The Deus Ex Machina. Pay attention to that term. Again. So important. So important. We'll learn more about it in season 2. Actually, in the next couple episodes. Coming up of AwesomeMan, we're going to learn about the Deus Ex Machina. But yeah, no, I had a very clear plan and vision for this show for so many years, and seeing it finally shape up to the vision I want it to be is really nice. I think this episode is still the worst. Look at that! Look at that! What was I doing? How did I let that slide? Oh my god. So this episode really taught me a valuable lesson. It taught me it's okay to delay episodes for quality. It really is. And it's something I'll keep struggling with, because the YouTube algorithm basically makes me try to make these so much, right? Why you see me occasionally do experimental videos like this, because I often need time in between these cartoons sometimes to make more higher quality cartoons, because I keep raising the quality every time. Yeah, also Machina Stone counts. Machina Stone's been introduced. Again, crucial. Another Easter egg. This...
Love, Jen?
That's from... That audio take is from my first live-action film ever, Friends on Escape. Don't watch it. I don't know how it got nominated for an award, but it did. But it sucks. It's terrible. It's rushed. I didn't know a thing about writing or cinematography back then. Please, if you are going to watch one of my live-action films, watch That's the Spirit. Or Promotion Day. They're actually good. They're really good films. Or go to Under the Table Films and watch... which is like the channel like I had to make for a class and make a short film on with my friends, and we made an award-winning film there called House on Brothdale. Go watch that instead of Friends on Escape. Don't watch Friends on Escape. Please don't. It's not good. It's not. It's basically just Incel the movie. And like, I was trying to take influence from Seinfeld at the time. I know, I'm sorry about this tangent, but I was trying to take influence from Seinfeld at the time to make the main character kind of an asshole. But I forgot to redeem him in the end. So it's like we just kind of rewarded an asshole for being an asshole. And I regret that so much. I'm like, if there's any live action movie I would like to remake, it's that. Because then I can at least, like, make it good. Maybe. I don't even know if the storyline's salvageable. So this episode, this is a pretty recent Lost file. The dog. So this episode, I really like this episode because it's just kind of wholesome. It explains
But
I
hey,
did it because,
at
like,
least
you know,
you're
AwesomeMan's just done a lot of
That's
stuff.
what
Speedstar
makes the
quit,
best friend.
you know?
Of
But
course
I
he's
wanted
a
to make
talented
sure
person.
everyone knows AwesomeMan does have a heart. He's just kind of
Well,
misguided.
congratulations, Cool.
He's
We're
just
now
kind
a
of
licensed superhero.
an idiot who doesn't
Awesome.
know
So,
what he's doing.
have you chosen your hero name?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, and we also introduced the
But
ship
if
commander.
you're around town like
And oh boy,
Awesome Man,
flashbacks.
count me in.
Woo!
Awesome, man.
But yeah,
So,
like,
dumb
AwesomeMan,
name. Did a child come up with it?
Yeah,
he's an asshole.
Makes
AwesomeMan
sense.
is an asshole
Now,
character.
Cool,
Most of my
I mean,
characters are,
Awesome Man.
because
You've not
I
only
think
been
that
cleared
usually
of
makes
the
for some good
license,
comedy.
The director's allowing you your own
But
team. I want the
this
first
episode
member
kind of
found
shows
by next week.
he's a redeemable
I'm on it.
asshole. We can still save him. We can make him, he can become a better person. Which really will be his arc through the whole series. That's basically what he needs to learn, is to become, like, he's a superhero, but he needs to become an actually good person.
That's a pig. How dare you
And this
insult
episode's
him?
pretty
Are you the one who
important to
knows?
that arc.
Are you?
Like, we see how he
both have
behaved,
powers.
but we do
Wait,
see that he does
when
love
gets this
Pork
little
Chop.
guy
He loves
hero
Awesome
license?
Dog.
What does he do? He's a tailor. That's not a... And he can fly. He's hired. Good times.
Sorry. So, Alex playing Awesome Dog always kills me, and I love just putting the subtitles over it, because, some of my favorite jokes come from Awesome Dog, actually. This is from Awesome Dog. Oh, look, I learned how to use end cards! Oh, yay! Seriously, it took me way too long to figure out how to use these. Yeah, make sure to subscribe, please. So we only have 2 episodes left in the season, then this commentary's over, huh? Well,
Everything's ready.
we're on to one of my favorites in the season, that's for sure. So, the sidekick auditions. So, after the disaster that was Zlo's introduction episode, I took a step back, and I actually took 2 weeks to make this episode. This episode, I let it be delayed, and for quality. And even then, there's a couple continuity errors, but, like, it is definitely an improvement. And this episode is pretty funny. I still find this episode legitimately funny. Oh, here's the moment.
Of course I know who you are. Now,
It's coming.
let's hear that audition.
Audition.
Who is greater than anyone else and will save the day? Awesome Man, who will punish crime and make them pay. He is totally competent and will never run away. Awesome Man, Awesome Man, Awesome Man.
That's me!
So Reed Spratt completely improv'd that song. and it became the theme song for the show. That's actually why it's the theme song. It's kind of like an in-joke, but it also suits Awesome Man's character so well. Like, the lyrics suit him so well. Because Awesome Man almost never actually saves the day. It's always his team that does. He won't save the day till he learns some lessons. So it's kind of like this song is almost like the embodiment of Awesome Man's ego. Because he's a very egotistical character, and this is just the embodiment of it. This is Awesome Man's ego put in a song form. Like, I've been messaged before, like, asked why I haven't mentioned his friends in the song or anything, and I'm like, well, 1, it's improv. Like, we didn't know where the song was going. 2, it just, I don't know, like, if I could get everyone together and we rework this song and add, like, an extra verse, I would. But, like, I'd still keep it all about Awesome Man, because I like how it feels like it's almost like from the point of view of Awesome Man's ego. Like, he's an egomaniac. Like, of course this would be his theme song. Oh, man. I'm gonna get some slack for this, because some people I know there's some people who don't like this theme song, and that's okay. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's all good. I'm not saying, oh, you have to like it, because it was a gift. It was an ego thing. It symbolizes the... No. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. I find it funny, but I do see where people come from with the lyrics being repetitive and stuff like that. Will I replace it? I don't know. We'll see. it's kind of like a very sentimental song to me. Because it was a gift from my friends, and it was so nice of them to do all that work for me, and I love them for it, and I love this song because it's like, oh, it's just special to me. It's really special to me, that theme song.
Hey, I'm like Water Girl and I'm listening
Tori! Tori comes in. This is the first actual appearance of Tori. Like, Tori showed up in the Lost Files, sure, but this is her first real appearance, and oh my god, we were all so shocked by Tori. Oh my god, Tori, we all love you. So, I write a script for Tori. I honestly do. Or I did. But Tori refuses to stay on script. She is a very good at improv. So she'll look at the script and go, okay, can I try something? And I'm like, sure, go ahead. And then she'll improv something that is way funnier than anyone could write. Like, you can't write this stuff. It has to come straight from Tori's mind. So it's gotten to a point where I don't even write lines for her most of the time anymore. Unless it's like a quick continuing the plot line. But like, when it comes to stuff like this, I just write, do your thing, Tori. And I just let her go. And when she goes, oh my god, there's nothing more magical. It is comedy gold. Like, Tori is a comedic genius over here with her Water Girl rants. She knows the character. She is the character. No one can play this character but her. Like, I can't stress enough how much I couldn't do this stuff if I didn't have as amazing friends as I do. Like, they make this show. They really do. They help me so much. And they're not paid. They do this just because they want to. Just because they think it's fun and they want to hang out, right? And we all have fun doing this. Like, I would love to one day get monetized and actually give them money for this, because I feel so guilty all the time, the fact that I can't actually pay them. I really do. But like, and they frequently reiterate to me, like, remind me, no, this is for fun. It's okay. We're enjoying ourselves, so, and that really means the world to me. All my friends, everyone who's worked on any of my shows with me, if you're watching this, I appreciate and love you so much. Like, Mr. Business Associate. I'm sorry. I love that joke. I love that joke so much. I honestly love this episode. I love this episode. It's just a funny episode. I delayed it, and that's how I learned my lesson, was when I actually delayed an episode, it turned out good. Oh my god! What? That's why nowadays I'm like, I try to get them out of movies, but I delay them all the time. Because usually I have to. I like to try to make them good.
I had your coffee.
So this episode is in a different aspect ratio. Because I learned how to animate in 1080p. I learned how to change my settings. Oh my god! I'm still on the iPad, but like, oh my god! And, this episode came out a month later. Because notice, it's a lot longer than a lot of my other cartoons. Because this episode took forever. It took so much work. I remember that. And it was my first time making a huge action scene in an episode. And this is the episode when I feel like all the voice actors really came into their characters. Like, everyone who was in this episode really came into their characters with this episode. And then Spitz, you can already see how the animation improved within last episode to this, right? And like, Madame Zlow's anatomy is still disgusting. It's still, that is not anatomy. That is not how anatomy works. Next time she comes back, she's getting probably a new character model. I can't reach on her too much because I try to keep them truthful, faithful. But like,
I wasn't aware that we were getting a new
yeah.
roommate.
He's part of the new superhero.
Oh man.
We traded Speed Star.
So this is the introduction of a character called the Ninja, right? And played by Gabby, who does a really good job, especially like when you hear her get angry in season 2. Oh my god, I love her performance. But I hate how I introduced her character. I wish I put this plotline in a different episode. And originally it was, but it was like, I cut it. Because again, it was too mean-spirited. I had a problem back then. A lot of episodes kept turning out mean-spirited, so I cut them. And so we shoehorned this in, because we know the ninja is a crucial character for RoboMan's character arc. Whoa, my mic. I dropped my mic. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so the ninja is a crucial character for RoboMan's character arc, and vice versa. So she needed to come in, and she needed to come in this season, because season 2 was written so tightly. There's not much room to fit things. There's enough room to fit one lost file to conclude the little Speedstar arc. And even then, it's kind of an open-ended conclusion, because it doesn't really end till the end of the series.
Greetings, AwesomeMan. I am the ninja, your temporary superhero.
But yeah, as you can tell, the design, I was having troubles with the ninja's design. It improved a lot later with the hair growth, mostly. I just liked what I did with it. I remember what a pain it was to draw Madame Slow, though. Because I used black outlines, she has black hair. So it just got such a pain, because I'd work around like one or two layers.
Awesome.
Anyone catch that Avengers reference, by the way? Of course you did. It was not subtle. That was not subtle. It was not subtle. Oh, League, us. Haha. I mean, get together. Yeah, like we all know what that is. Oh. Harriet Richard! So Harriet Richard is the same voice actress as Time Warp. It's Nicole Abbott. Oh boy, we have some stories recording Harriet Richard. Like, funny stories. So, we had to do a bunch of takes. This was Nicole's first time voice acting at the time. She did a really good job. Also, Harriet Richard's name itself is an innuendo. I'm not going to spell it out. I'll let you figure it out. It itself is one of those many dirty jokes I slipped into the show. The show is not for kids. If you're a kid, don't watch AwesomeMan. If you're a teenager or adult, watch AwesomeMan. This is for you, then. But yeah, we did so many takes, and she did such a good job at the end. I really like her take on Harriet Richard. Hey, that's in the intro, which I'm going to be reanimating soon. But it's in the intro. Okay, I'm here. So Nicole wasn't comfortable doing the faint noises. She couldn't do, and she didn't know how to do them. So I did them. I did the, which I think makes this scene 10 times funnier, honestly. Just because it's so obviously a guy doing the pass out noises. Oh my god. And then everyone comes in, and there's Madame Slow. Honestly, okay, so you might notice something different about Madame Slow between the first introduction and now. I wasn't happy with her hair design. I didn't like that it was just black bangs and nothing else. So I ended up adding these, like, steampunk welding goggles. And god, that improved the design so much. Like, I miscolored them a bit here, I noticed. So now. I did that a lot back then, though. But she just looks better with the goggles. You know what, let's keep going. This is the last episode of the season. This is really fun. I gotta do more stuff like this. I gotta get seasons done more often. There's probably some people going, yeah, we agree. Stop taking those hiatuses. I need those hiatuses. I need to do school. Heck, I'm recording this video right now because I'm in the middle of exams and don't have time to make a cartoon right now. Well, except for the ones I'm working on 2 cartoons for class. But, you know.
Come on, team. Let's take this robo-jerk down.
Guys, we can't just...
So, oh my gosh. Robo guy.
According to my scans, this thing is...
Neither did you guys know that Robo Guy would be the main villain of the first 2 seasons, after all. Season 3 will mark the end of the Robo Guy arc, though. We will be moving on to different villains in Season 3 and 4. We will have different villains to fight, and different threats. But Robo Guy is the first real threat our heroes face. And, oh my god, this is so much... So you gotta remember, I hand drew every frame of this.
Guess I can't do that.
Every frame was drawn. Like, and I still hand draw every frame. I still do.
How can I distract him?
But now they're done on PNGs, and so that if I need to, reuse, I can.
Pull out shiny to make
But like,
boom boom.
because now I gotta make it high quality while somehow putting them out every week for YouTube algorithms. That's my solution, right? Because then, as the PNG library expands, the quality expands, and that's just how it works, right? But like, back then, everything was drawn from scratch. From scratch. And that continued to, like, literally last year when I came back making cartoons more often. Because I slowly transitioned to this PNG style because I needed to because I wanted to get the story done. Like, when I inevitably get better at animating, will I reanimate stuff that looks bad? Probably. But right now, what matters the most is telling the story, telling the good story, and keeping up with the algorithm so that I make these for me, but I want people to watch them. I, of course, want people to watch them. I work hard on these. I pour my heart and soul into these cartoons. And when people don't watch them, it legitimately makes me sad, but yeah, I'm also happy because I'm happy just making them. I love making these. Like I've been told many times before, I should do something more marketable. I should. You're right, I should. But the thing is, I haven't found something more marketable that I love doing as much as I love making these cartoons. I haven't found anything in my life that I love doing as much as I love making these cartoons. So, do what you love, because that will make you happy, really, at the end of the day. Well, of course I want people to watch, but at the end of the day, I'm just having fun making cartoons. It's a clear violation of the contract. Normally I'd respect you for this, but not when it's my stuff. Sorry, my voice, I did not warm up my voice for this. Hey, it's Drillbot's redesign! So, Drillbot's old arms were a pain to draw. They were a pain to animate. They just were. I don't know why I struggled with them, but I did. But I thought, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if, since Drillbot died earlier in the episode and is brought back to life, like, President Villain would just be putting them back together from scraps. So, of course, he has Robo Guy's arms now. And he has a crack in his eyeball. And those stay as his redesign. So, fun fact, the line, even full recorded, was, "How could you, sir? I finally had the sweet release of death." But, I got censored hard by my own mom. My mom heard me editing that line, and she went, "That's not funny. That is way too dark." And I'm like, okay. But, like, the "I missed you too" Drillbot was always there. So I ended up cutting the of death part and just had, "How could you, sir? I finally had the sweet release of I missed you too, Drillbot." And honestly, hate to admit it, because I hate censorship, but my mom was right. This is funnier. This version is funnier. I've seen both versions. My sister's seen both versions. We both agree. This is the funnier version. This is better. It was for the better.
And as for you,
Get out of my city! Now!
I'll be back, AwesomeMan. And next time, I'll have all the Machina stones.
And that's AwesomeMan Season 1. So, of course, the season finale, so, like, we credited everyone who was in it. So, yeah. And at the end of this, we reveal the other end song, which took place in Season 2. And there's, of course, finally, to end this all, there's an after credit scene. A cliffhanger for what Season 2 would be about. And, oh my god. What a journey. What a journey this whole thing has been. Like, doing Season 1, and now we are halfway through Season 2. Or we are past the halfway mark. We have a couple episodes left in Season 2. I hope you guys are as ready as I am. Because season 2, this show gets a lot more intense. It gets a lot more action focused, a lot more character driven. Honestly, season 1, with the addition of Lost Files, that's my first time watching it all in order with the Lost Files. But man, it is so much better now because of them. And season 2 is a better season. It's just better than this season. Season 2 is structured weird, or in kind of a cool way. It starts off with what happened to Speedstar, what she did when she quit, and then, like, the plot starts kicking in, so we divide into 3 storylines. We divide into Water Girl, Awesome Dog, and the Vegetable. Then we divide into a whole arc for RoboMan, the Ninja, and Drillbot. And then the next arc is going to be about AwesomeMan, Speedstar, and Professor Villain. And then after that arc is a 2-part finale, a big final battle. That was originally supposed to be the series finale, but I ended up rewriting the season. Like, this was years ago, it was originally going to be the series finale, but I ended up deciding, no, it's not enough. This season needs more time to flesh out the world. So, it has 2 more seasons that I'm still writing, and my god. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my tangents about, like, my old production. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!